Okay, so Sébastien shipped 1.6 this weekend on his own. He didn't tell me.
I'm surprised.
Yeah. Seems to be getting good reviews so far. If you want to add one, you're more than welcome to do that. Very impressive release. Works proper, which is good. Better performance, decrease in DB queries, very stable, lots of bugs fixed. So
Yeah, but one is from Brett.
yeah, well, it counts. He's using it. In his business, it counts.
Can you show me how many DB queries less we have? Because I'm not sure we have less query than before.
If you enable the
Oh yeah, if you enable the DB cache, okay.
Yeah.
We have 0 query.
Yeah, of course. Does anyone have demos today?
I will have some things to show, but part of the discussion.
Okay. Part of what discussion?
The discussion we have today.
Okay. We are talking about 1.7.
Yeah. Oh, also 1.6.
Also 1.6?
I already pushed a change on 1.6.
You did?
Fixing a dynamic compilation.
So does that make it 1.6.1?
I don't think so, because it's not a real issue. It's just if you have a compiled module already and you change it, the dynamic compilation won't work on already compiled modules. That's the issue. So the example was if you use a widget module, the widget module which is precompiled, and you change a file and you save it, it won't detect the change. It won't use the new, it won't try to build it again. So that's not a real burden.
And I'm suspecting this is actually a very old issue.
Well, it's fixed now.
Yeah, but is it new to 1.6 or?
Yes.
Really?
What do you mean precompiled?
Precompiled?
Compiled from VS?
Built from VS. So if you're in VS, and if you're in VS.
Yeah, but
all you guys, if you are using 1.6, you have been developing on 1.6, then if there is no issue for you, there will be no issue for the others. It's just, yeah. We could ship 1.6, 1.1, which would be. But I don't think it's necessary.
No. If somebody complains about having the issue on what they have, we can tell them to reinstall. That should be enough.
But it's on 1.6 now, we can take it. So thanks to Benedek for helping into finding the change sets we make the change.
Zoltan was also testing a lot.
1.6?
It works really great. It's been a long time. I think it's the first time I have not seen any lines into the log files of websites I have deployed publicly. There have always been some weird log files and, okay, this module can be loaded, or I don't know, can create this table, or exceptions which are code, but we don't care because they're just for specific handlers. But now I've been running 1.6 on 2 different websites of mine, and for last week, or 1 week, and the log files are completely empty. Who is in New York? It's Benedict. Okay, he's muted.
Oh.
When you want to talk, you unmute.
Okay.
So I think it's pretty stable and fast. And so which one is using it? Shortcharm is using 1.6. Look at the speed of this website.
Did we take any measurements in performance 1.5 versus 1.6, since a lot of it was performance based?
I didn't, and it all depends on how you configure it for performance. Like, do you disable the dynamic compilation? We will have to do several tests, like without any configuration, and I don't expect a lot of change. there will be because the widget has been improved. Then we will need some measurements with dynamic compilation off, and maybe we could have some measurements with database cache on, but we didn't have this option in 1.5, so that's really interesting too. We could do that. You can do it.
Yeah, I know you know that I can't, and that's why you said it. But I did make the suggestion, and I think that even you, Sébastien, found it to be a potentially.
Yeah, I don't really like raw numbers like that. Yes, evolution is nice, and but I can give you raw numbers for the website online, for instance. For this one, let me show you. Actually, it's very interesting.
Yeah, I think it's just to be able to let people in the community know that there is progress, and obviously the numbers are going to differ depending on your site and your configurations. But the idea is that based on a baseline that they may not know, we've seen some percentage in improvement, and percentages can be marked rather than the raw numbers.
A raw number which could be interesting is on a specific setup, like this one, short chart. It's a standard application with no external module, but Google Analytics. It's using contribute cache, and it's running on Azure website. And if I run this one, let me show you the statistics for this one. Take 1 second. I run it with 50 concurrent clients, okay, from my laptop to the internet. So the internet will be a bottleneck here. I'm running it right now, and the result is live here. You see that here the number of threads which are running right now, 10, 11, it will go to 50. Performance is number of requests per second right now, live. And average time is the average time of the response time of the website. This is nothing. Less than 200 milliseconds is nothing. Performance, it will be increasing with the threads increasing. And we will reach like 150 requests per second, which is really a lot. If you take 150 per second, you multiply by 60 per minute, 8 hours per day, 20 days per month, you get like millions of requests per month. And even on day, you get millions of requests per.
So what's the site here that you're hitting?
This is Short
Orchard.
Okay, and it's running on my Azure website account. 50 threads, 300 milliseconds response time, 100 requests per second. So, and that's awesome. And 0 errors at all. Just one instance on Azure. It's a medium instance. And the medium instance is sharing 3 different websites: Short Chart, My Blog, and Harvest, and could have more. So that's pretty interesting scenario. You see how fast it is. And,
so you are hosting Short Chart?
Yes.
Interesting.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't know.
That's nice.
Sébastien, the tool that you've been benchmarking the site, is it something you built or is it based on WCAT?
I made it. I was too dumb to make WCAT work for an external website, so I took the time to make a little tool, very, very easy, but interesting, playing with tasks. And I won't share it. I'm too ashamed of that. It works fine, and actually there are multiple web console applications online to do that. Siege is one, Apache Benchmark is another one, but I needed to compile it, so I didn't want to use it. So I have not tried Siege. Maybe you want to try Siege, which is also doing the same thing. And WCAT from Microsoft, but I wasn't able to make it work on an external website.
Yeah, it's a pain to make it work sometimes. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
So performance-wise, it's very nice.
Yeah, speaking about performance, I actually noticed that on in one step on one of the sites I've made I used the ability to turn off the session for a particular route and reload some items through Ajax, and it's on a dev server, so it's nothing that's been tweaked for performance. It handles 60, 80 requests per second without any problem. So in parallel, so it's quite nice.
And the numbers I've just showed to you, they are running from my local machine and they're going to internet. That's not a local test. They are going through internet with my Wi-Fi connection, which means it should be even better in terms of response times. And yeah, so I don't. And the data center is on East Coast, and we are on West Coast.
It's still up.
And it's still up. Yeah, that's a good question. Where are they? That's the East US data center. I have also updated the Trello boards with some items we talked about during the last poll. I must have forgotten some of them. So if you remember the items we have talked about for 1.7, please add them, leave them to me. So I had a new to do here, and we can expand that. I forgot some, I'm sure. So we talked about organized content in tabs from the admin and the front end, a corporate theme, a blog theme, and I will archive it and actually put it default theme. So I think we just need one theme.
Sébastien, do you know what's going on with the theme that trying to burn it? Like, yeah, I think we created one a while ago.
He lost it because he had a hard disk failure, and I've been working on things. I want to talk about it to you. I'm just brainstorming things and show you some things, and just to define the directions and the definitive goals of the theme. Custom layout, I also want to talk about that. Media management, we talked about that already. Taxonomy in core, we all agree, and localization improvements. And so, does anyone have the meeting notes from 3 or 4 weeks ago and can check what we are missing for 1.7? Well, I mean, what we brainstormed about.
Yeah, I do. Let me pull them up.
So then we can actually triage the priorities, do some feature things.
Media management, you have the widget pages.
That's custom layout, okay. Yeah, I will talk about that. That's custom layout. We can call it differently if you want. Widget pages.
Workflow.
I forget.
Calendar and inline editing.
And when you say inline editing, you mean front end?
Yes.
Because I will talk about back-end inline editing. Crazy idea, but that's it.
Okay. So let's take them one by one, maybe.
So
you're missing one.
Okay.
Content deployment.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I know what we have you now. Just to remind us what it is. Content deployment.
Don't worry, I'm a 24/7 service, so I'll be available to remind you 24/7.
And I also thought about this one. Very interesting. So, cool.
We also taxonomies, versioning, refactoring, like to make versioning.
Like that. Version widgets.
Another one that's important, which is image processing and serving.
That's already it's media management.
Media management.
Well, no, there were two different things there.
We have a module for media processing. Maybe we can.
They're related, obviously, because you need a media management to be able to ideally see it from the UX of how you're going to then serve. But they were two different new features.
Do you want to talk about that for 1.7?
Yo, definitely. We would love to use it right away.
Because that's a module that we haven't done, and I really want to have it in core. Maybe we could have it in core. Too many modules in core, remember, means too many modules we have to support and to fix bugs on.
Yeah, but media processing is...
Yeah.
That one is definitely a core.
That decision, yeah. We designed it already. I did with Peterson.
Yeah, I was under the impression that you had even gone further.
It's not Peterson. Peterson made it.
Okay, do we want to prioritize those?
So the ones I personally care about are default theme, custom layout, and what else did I?
Sébastien, can you clarify custom layouts to the group, because you're generally very admin focused when it comes to these items. So is custom layout widget pages for you a back-end feature versus a front end, right?
That's why I put inline editing front end separately, because so just for the group, I expressed my ideas with Bertrand and also Ilan and also Nick already, just to have a first review about what could be done with custom layouts, what is custom layout, what is widget pages, and how it works with the theme layout, and how it could be integrated.
Please don't start anything here. Don't start with this.
I wasn't starting anything. Just
I know. I'm just mentioning it because we don't want to have duplicate efforts here. We've been working on something, and it needs a little more work, but it will be interesting to look at before anything else is started on this.
One more thing. Have you been thinking about extending the admin theme a bit? Because, or for example, basing the admin on some framework like Bootstrap or Foundation or something like this. Because I noticed that it's kind of a pain to build more complicated admin screens when you need drop-downs modals, some loading bars, and so on. So it's maybe a good thing to use some framework that and style it exactly like we have now. So the look is very good, but just to have more features out of the box to build editors. Because we just have text boxes and the default HTML. So every time you want to do some more complex stuff, you have to write all those from the beginning. And if you like I tried to use some Bootstrap scripts, it screwed up the whole admin UI. So I think it's something that could be worth considering. Maybe for front end, it's not that crucial, but for admin, when you need lots of different types of things like triple state buttons and things like this. What do you think about it?
Interesting.
Hi guys.
Oh.
Hey Nick.
Sorry, my Windows 8 kept crashing on me.
So integrating a new framework as part of the admin, maybe will also require that we change the admin, or actually we catch up with this framework. So I'm not sure it's a priority. It's interesting, but
we already have jQueryUI that's integrated that has some stuff in it that we can use. What we don't have is the orchard style sheet for it. And it doesn't have some of the things that you may want to use, such as fields and the more modern UI elements. So Piotr, what do you think about jQueryUI? What is missing from it that you'd like to use? We can't hear you. Piotr, are you still here?
that was quick. He's muted. There is no more sound from him. Not on the call. So maybe he left.
Yeah, so well, at least we could set as a work item to have or chart theming for jQueryUI.
Want me to add it in
About
to
that. Sorry.
For taxonomies, are we going to pull across the one that OneStop have been working on?
Yes.
Okay. You probably already mentioned that, so.
Not today.
But Sébastien will make sure that OneStop will not be mentioned in the contrib file.
Oh, we can. I don't care. We can. And I
What's the localization improvements?
And one of the things we do, for instance, what is the module that we authorize? I think it's mentioned in Piotr actually, and not our party. And I think there is some other example. Fields, for instance, is mentioning part 1. So we have examples for that.
What's the localization improvements?
Improvements and localization. No, that's just UI tips, like being able to filter content items by culture, menus by culture too. Today, if you have a menu with menu items from different cultures, they all show up in the same UI. We need to be able to filter and just show the ones from specific culture. Some small things, same thing for widgets. So just administration filter.
Well, one thing I think I'd like to see, I can't see it on here, is better searching in the admin screens. It infuriates me that I can't see it on there. Maybe it is.
You need a search charm, like in Windows 8, where any module could be a provider for search in the admin.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a great idea, but we could make it even faster, so that you don't have to go through the charms and click on on search. I mean, having a search box up there somewhere that's always there.
Yeah,
would be nice.
100% agree.
Yeah.
Oh,
the fact that search is its own tab is just.
Under content, you have to click on content and then go to search and then type your search, click OK, and then you have results. Whereas we could have a search bar with immediate search results.
And it would be nice if it sort of auto-suggested too.
I think it hooks in with the indexing engine at the moment, doesn't it? So.
Yeah, but what Sébastien was suggesting was that any module could contribute to that search bar. So by default, if you don't have the indexing installed, it would do some basic, I don't know, some basic search on whatever.
There will be a module which will do the indexing for every content item, because it can do it. But for things which are not content items, like media, you have to expose the content for that, and it will still be part of the search.
I see. Okay.
Unless we content item, then that's
Bertrand, you asked about the admin thing, but I was dropped and I didn't know what you heard, what you didn't hear. I said about the admin theme, about the thing that's been hanging around since Orchard went at 0 or earlier, about switching the admin theme, the ability to switch the admin theme. I think it would be good to have this feature.
To have what feature?
To be able to switch the admin theme, because right now we cannot. You can do that, but you can't do that from the UI, from the dashboard.
But you don't want to do that from the UI. That's a too weird scenario. Well, too specific scenario. It's like I want to rebuild from the UI. Who would like to do that?
Yeah, but for example, something like this, you can have in a gallery some admin themes, and you would like to just download it and install it. You can do that right now. You have to change the admin theme by hand, or switch the admin theme in code or something like this. But there's no way to. I think it would be good to have.
Very low priority because we don't have so many nice themes in the gallery. I don't expect to create admin themes. Maybe you will do one. It's not.
And actually, the second thing about using Bootstrap for admin is that there is a lot of themes for Bootstrap, swatches, or free or paid. So it would, extend the amount of themes available, because it would be very easy to switch the theme, but just overwriting the
You don't need flowers everywhere in the admin dashboard. And what will you change? You will change the logo of the company, maybe 2 or 3 colors, and that's it. You can't change anything. Yeah, I mean, there is nothing. So put the menu somewhere else. There is not so
okay, if it's so.
Theme. Adding such a high infrastructure just to maybe someone to change one theme someday, no, that's too much. And you can already change it today. You just switch it with another folder, and that's it.
Okay. Inline editing. Is that
Is that
actually from the UI, from the user's UI, or from the admin UI? What you and me discussed, Sébastien.
Inline editing, and I put here front end. This line is just for front end. The thing we discussed together was for custom layout widget pages.
Okay, I see. So the front end stuff was the kind of side scenario that I mentioned.
The stuff you made, yeah.
I didn't make it up.
There is no up down right now, just it's there. But there will be winners and losers.
I know. I just wondered whether that was the scenario that okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
and
I can rename it more explicit.
No, leave it. It's perfectly fine. Content deployment, is that moving content from one environment to another?
Yes, with versioning.
Yeah, very nice. That would be a very interesting feature.
So Bertrand, how do you
I can't hear you.
With
you
list.
said how do you
So how do you recommend moving forward with this list?
What I recommend is what we did last time, which is to create threads on the forums, and people who want to build those build what they want to build, because that's what's going to happen in the end anyway. And what we can prioritize with Sébastien is what Sébastien is going to work on. But the rest, it's what people are willing to do.
Yeah, because we can't do, any one of us can't do everything. And we will just work on if we have the choice, we will work on the things that we want to work on, that we care about. Like Nick will work on inline editing and Sipke on taxonomy core, I don't know, example. And the only thing we can say is that if we all want a feature, force me to do it. Even if I prefer working on something else. Like for instance.
Well, what would you prefer working on then?
For instance, I have my own preferences, and deployment is not one of them. I like it a lot, and I'm sure everyone wants it. So we might say we will need deployment in 1.7. Even if you, Sébastien, Even if you, Sébastien, such asshole, don't want to do it right now. And when I say such asshole, I'm speaking for Ilan. Okay? In the name of.
I love that this stuff gets recorded. It's fantastic.
Well, what would you like to do then, Sébastien?
What? Sorry?
You said what would you prefer to do? What out of that list, what would be on your top?
My top?
Yeah.
My top is custom layout, default theme, setup wizard, and new recipes. My goal being, it's already the recipe, sorry. My goal being driving more attraction on Orchard so that people set up locally an Orchard instance, they find it beautiful, complete, they want to publish it. Today, if they set up, it's ugly and empty, they don't want to publish it. And they don't want to take the time to understand Orchard.
In terms of those themes, isn't it better to maybe leverage Andy and Ryan to try and get them to do it?
Yes and no. Yes, they are very blind guys. No, they are very busy guys. They can give us advice and mockups and everything, but we already tried that for 1.5. It was one of the goals of 1.5.
Agreed.
We went nowhere with that. So yeah.
Well, there's also Beatrice of Bind, and we could leverage her, and we could see if there's a third designer out in the community who'd be willing to, provide time. Under your supervision, of course.
Of course.
We would have it no other way. But again, the idea, and especially since this group generally, I can't speak for everyone that I see in attendance here, but this group in general is not made up of front-end developers or designers here.
Exactly. But
and so we should really let people who do what they do best do it on our behalf as part of the community.
It could drive us and give us feedback also, because we are also web developers. And
I think that's a backwards approach. If we could leverage them first, and they're willing to dedicate their time, and we assist them in moving the ball forward, I think that's the right approach.
Mm.
Hi, Rebecca. Can you chime in vocally, or just I am?
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, Rebecca.
Hi, everyone.
I've seen you here now. I think last week for sure you were here as well.
Yeah, I've been here a couple weeks, new to these meetings, but worked on a ticket actually for 1.6, but I can also offer any design and additional front-end development help that you guys need.
That's awesome.
No, we don't need it. Go back to Boston.
Luckily, you've been here for a couple weeks, so you understand who's speaking and how.
So, well, we can, when we talk of those features more precisely, I have also brainstormed about the design and what would be the technical goals also of those themes. One example would be we want a responsive theme, and we don't need to be a designer to know that we want a responsive theme, things like that. So I have a portfolio of websites which I think are very nice.
Okay, yeah, there is the default theme for sure. That I agree with you, Sébastien, that when you install Orchard, you should feel like you're ready to publish it, to push it outside. But there is also the admin theme that probably could use some love. It's been a while, and we've been building on top of it. It's served us well, but when I saw the video from the Umbraco guys on their new admin theme, I thought, that looks really nice, and it actually looks nicer than Orchard does today. So.
I think from a usability perspective, I think the Umbraco theme is a bit of a headache. I think it looks nice, but I think it's a headache.
So it's a different CMS. It's made in a completely different spirit, so that's not very surprising. In particular, they have a tree view and all that. But there are some good ideas here in the way they streamline the UI, and they have some interesting ideas around how they use tabs, and there are some hints we could use.
No, totally.
Should we also include the suggestion from Sitka about reorganizing the content and everything on the admin? So
I would say yes.
Well, what you guys are discussing really goes back to that tab, admin theming. Right? It's all part and parcel.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just how deep you want to go.
Yeah, and you know, revisiting the organization of the menu, in particular for people who have a lot of modules installed, that's definitely something we could look at. And I agree with you, Nick. I hate the content tab as well.
maybe that could be part also of the search in the admin thing.
I think it's the search. I think it just drives me up the wall.
Where is my search in the admin?
You need a search bar to find it.
I'd actually be tempted to say, instead of having just a search on the content tab or whatever, actually just have a search on the top right-hand corner or something.
Yeah, that's what we said a few minutes ago, Nick, but you weren't paying attention.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and the tree module that I showed a couple of weeks ago was it started from the same the same problem, which is that if you have a lot of content, it's hard to navigate in the admin.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's all for 1.7, right?
That's all. That's too much for 1.7. So if we ship 2 of those items, we will be happy.
Sivka, you better get on it.
Yeah, I'm sitting ready to take off.
Okay, so
Zoltan is not here today. I could not hear him. No, okay, it's not here. Yeah, he's there. Okay.
do we want to start threads for each of those themes on the discussions?
Do we know some of them that we will have? So we don't need to ask people if they want it. We'll say you'll get it. You can discuss what you will have into it, but you'll get it.
Well, we still need a thread per theme. Okay.
But, okay. And then after we say we will have it, and you can vote on those other ones.
You know, people can vote with their code, I think. It's interesting to know what people want.
Yeah, I agree.
But will it affect what actually gets built in the end? I'm not sure.
Okay. We can.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Should we vote on features, really?
Unless someone really wants something, then the chances are they're probably, and they're not willing to put their time towards it, and sometimes it's pretty pointless.
Okay.
Yeah. If somebody has time and says, "Yeah, I'm willing to do anything that people want," but that doesn't.
It happens quite a lot, and then nothing happens. That's the problem.
Yeah. So let's start the threads and see who wants to do what and start from that. And I will start the threads and try to give an explanation of what's in there for each. And of course, as feature teams form, we can start discussing the specifics of the designs, but let's start with the threads. Okay. We need to do triage this week.
I'm sorry, a little addition. Comments refactoring for 1.7. I hope.
Oh yes.
That's going to be ready.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot. We discussed it with Sitka actually, and I forgot to add it.
So there are a few pending questions. They are design stuff. So when they are fixed and we have an answer, we can move on to develop them and finish the comments refactoring.
Do you want to look at those questions now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I don't know if we have time and.
Well, yeah, we do. Go ahead.
Okay. Sébastien, are you going to, I don't know, share that screen? Because I'm recording, or Zoltán maybe?
Okay, there was an important question about anonymous owner part. Can you remember?
But which part?
Anonymous owner. So basically, it would be a new part for content items that should be or could be submitted by anonymous users as well. So basically, it would contain what's now in comments for comment part, but in a reusable way.
And for example, there was an issue not long ago with the custom forms about the author of an unauthorized user submitting a custom form. The author was a null and it threw an exception. The anonymous owner part would be a solution for that too. Well, it's been fixed, but that would be a nicer way to solve this.
Sébastien, any opinion on that?
I have to dive into this one. Just looking at the thread and seems like it's good. I can't remember. Just a quick note while I read at the thread. I think we should have a non-Ajax by default.
Sorry. Yeah, that question is moot. So it was solved long ago, and it isn't Ajax.
Comment continue. Is it a public repo somewhere I can take a look at?
And there's a fork.
Yeah, of course, it's a fork.
It's listed here, maybe. I don't agree with this comment.
We didn't really understand.
That's wrong.
That one. What is the comment about?
There is a serious security issue present when posting comments. User can post any HTML, CSS script they wish. It's wrong. If you post any HTML, CSS script you wish, it will be encoded and rendered as is.
Yeah, it's going to be just text.
Yes, yeah, so, well, text, but encoded text, so it won't be executed, so that's not an issue. HTML5 semantics, why not? Yeah, threading with pagination, good question. So maybe when we are threading, we can't have pagination, but we can have infinite scrolling.
Yeah. It doesn't make it much easier.
I don't know. I'm just trying to find what is Discuss doing.
What do you need it to do?
Where do we have discussions?
I think they're loading all of them at once.
Oh, there is.
They are doing infinite scrolling?
You want to see an example? Go to my website.
Sitka's website.
I need to work on it.
Showcase. Well, but if you had comments, it would be nice.
I have to post with a lot of comments.
Okay, let's go. One. That's slow.
Let's go back to the last step. Yeah, and scroll up. And go to blog. I think. Yeah, scroll down a bit, go to part 5 or 7 or 6. So you should have a lot of comments.
Wow, crazy. Okay. So, what is it about? It's loaded. Everything is loaded. 176, and here. No page, no page, no page, no page, no page. And here, load more comments. Yeah.
Well, I think this is something somebody could do if he or she wants to do. But for now, for the refactoring part, let's stick to strictly refactoring, because that's also very badly needed, and there is a lot to do anyway.
So no threading, no pagination?
Well, pagination, yeah, I don't think pagination would be needed. So previously I had the idea, but I presented to use projections to display a list of comments, but it was downvoted. So I would say let's stick with the current listing, but it will be also possible to use projections for comment listing optionally. And then there will be listing, of course, paging.
Do you have a way of handling moderation?
Yeah, it's also currently there.
Yeah, but we need also to integrate the UX stuff.
Oh, yeah. There is something that for some reason we never did, and we really should. It's the select all. Everywhere we have a list and with bulk actions.
Oh yeah.
This is ridiculous.
The what?
Select all. You know when you have checkboxes, when you have a list of content items and you have checkboxes.
Yeah. And?
Well, you should have a select all.
Okay, there is a selector. Okay. I will look into the comments. Just to show you, You want something else? Going back. I'm just a developer, but I'm using internet sometimes. And as an internet user, I like to be able to resize my window, and I have a behavior like that. We call it responsive. And the one on Microsoft.com is very well done. You see even the caption in the slider is resized. And the search box here will collapse because there is not so much space for the search box. They turn into contextual buttons. This is a new menu, and when I click on the menu, it appears like that. Okay, so it's very nice. What is also nice, it's touch friendly because you have to tap and tap. You can browse it like that, so it's touch friendly. Even for the search, you tap and it's there for a long time, so it's persistent. And the content is also responsive. If you take, for example, where is it? I will find it. These pages here. This is 2011. 2011 being the, oh, this is 2012. 2012 being the latest WordPress default theme. Same behavior. It collapses the search bar, and the menu is also tap compatible, so touch compatible. Okay. There are other options, which, for instance, is this one. So you see, it's a nice menu. It's a box content. When you go down to the size of the box, it goes to a wide layout because the box doesn't make any sense anymore. Then the menu collapses to a drop-down. Okay, but this requires to have both ULLI navigation and a select option navigation. I kind of prefer the one from Microsoft.com. Again, where it's not a select option, but just a ULLI with some JavaScript tap it, or to click on it. So that were the ideas I would like, I think, for a default theme, technical ideas. The Metro Bootstrap team has a similar responsibility. Yeah. That's the technical question too. If we make a default theme, do we want to be dependent on an external framework? There are some issues like because we introduce a new dependency on external framework, we have to follow the framework. If they make breaking changes, do we make breaking changes? Do we stop using the framework? Do we need a framework for reading or a framework for doing everything in a website?
We could use a Metro Bootstrap.
It's too much opinionated, I think.
Yeah. Maybe we can take parts of the style sheet of, for example, Bootstrap in the default theme.
Maybe
the parts dealing with the grid and the fluid grid and everything responsive, but not the peers and all the UI elements that they also define.
That's what I was saying. Yeah. So, or maybe we can ask also the grid system from Ryan Burnett, because he made one initially for himself and he shared it with the default theme for 1.5. So maybe you can reuse that, just a grid system from himself. So
yeah, sure, but as much as possible, I would prefer to be to use the same kinds of conventions that are in one of the well-known grid systems.
And then we can just use a grid system framework and not Bootstrap. Bootstrap has a grid system, but there are some other grid systems which include grids.
Yes.
Yeah, that was my ideas, and I like this design. It's nice. The idea of the design, we can copy design. I like the technical part of this one. Okay. There are some similarities, meaning there is a slider, there are some columns here with some services or products. There is a footer with some widgets, and same thing here, and same thing on any new website design like that. footer with columns here for the content. And this will be very easy handled by a layout editor on the admin. Nice thing with this theme is that it shows that we can have a corporate website theme, which also has nice blogging widgets integrated. So this is a blog page. It looks like a blog. This is very nice. We can remove the menu if we don't want it. But this goes to the recipes to task, which is about when you set up a blog, you have a blog with categories, tags, recipes, maybe latest widgets, latest quiz widget, being fine. And you take the ideas in the discussion for topic for this one.
Yeah, about the widgets that you have on this one, we should have tag cloud
Yep.
in the box.
You think I should go straight into the taxonomies module?
Yes.
Okay.
Damn cloud.
Didn't you do that already, Sibka?
It's done?
Sibka, didn't you do a tag cloud or something for the taxonomies module?
No, I can't recall that.
It might not have been you then. Okay.
Okay. Benedek, did you get all the responses that you needed for comments?
Yeah, I think we will ask a few more questions if we need them. Yeah.
Okay.
I will focus on the comments module also because I agree that we need to change it now. Because today, enable the comments, there is no reCAPTCHA compatibility. It's the old anti-Akismet service that we have to use. So yeah, I think I have to work on this.
Okay.
The compromise will be that I want threaded discussions. I want to let user enable threaded discussions. So that's, and then to look everything like is the current implementation of comments, but with drivers, because we need to be able to explain. That was the third goal of it. Very right.
Yeah, then most of the core stuff of comments is already redesigned to be dynamic stuff with drivers. Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, actually, that part of the refactoring is done now.
Yeah.
But we need some more input.
Is the migration under?
Yeah, the migration is done as well.
Okay. So next steps are to create the discussions in the forum. Bertrand,
Yeah, I'll do it.
And to fight on the forum. So one thread, okay, like last time, one thread per feature.
Yes. Okay, it's fun. We're running out of time. Is there anything else that people want to talk about today? Have to talk about today?
Yeah, we with Benedek started the Orchard course on our university.
Oh, congratulations.
Thanks.
Thanks, it
Yesterday
was great.
was the first lesson.
Yeah, we will have a video of that too. If I don't know how much time I will have to do that, but maybe there's going to be English subtitles. We'll see.
That would take a lot of time.
Definitely. Yeah, but I think it would worth it.
Yeah, it is worth it, definitely.
Why don't you do the class in English then?
Because everyone was from Hungary. But yeah.
You speak English very well. Don't they speak the same?
I don't know.
Not everybody is good with English.
We didn't ask. We didn't have to ask.
You sure?
Do you
Okay,
have
next
you
time.
seen have you seen English language courses in French universities?
Never. I've never seen that, and I wanted to do it, and the teacher actually, the professors didn't speak English, so that's why he didn't want to do it.
Oh,
Oh, that's what I can't understand.
on our university we have to pass 1 or 2 subjects that is in English. So.
And just to give you an example, Bertrand is the best English speaker in France. So imagine for the rest of us.
Yeah, that's mean and nice at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. So I create the thread. I will post the. I won't post the release notes this time. I'll send the release notes to Benedek, and he can put them the release notes, the meeting notes. Sorry, to Benedek, and he can put them on the YouTube video, and we'll put that on the homepage. All right. Thanks everyone. We'll have a lot to talk about next week, I'm sure, with work starting on 1.7. And, maybe we can meet with Sipke at some point before he leaves, if he's around. And we'll talk next week. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Have a good
everyone.
one.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys.